Hey Loresmyths, welcome back. It's been a while, I know. Things have been incredibly busy. So now we're finally back with a big Kickstarter update. I hope everybody's doing fine and keeping safe. This is the first video from the new office space. I finally found the time to set up the new camera, new microphone, so no more crappy mobile phone recordings. And this is going to be a big update, and I decided to combine the information for both the Wondrous Expeditions Kickstarter as well as the Remarkable Cults Kickstarter. Many of you are backers on both of these projects, so this information is going to be relevant for both. It's some important news, so definitely watch the video all the way up to the end. And as always, thank you, and let's go. So as you most likely have been aware from other creators as well, COVID has really implicated manufacturing products, especially books and card decks. Around the world, globally, there's been supply problems for steel, wood, and now, of course, paper. It's been very difficult to get paper and cardboard, and as a result, printing has become much more expensive and also a much longer process. It's just very difficult to get books manufactured because the waiting times are so long. Basically, manufacturers around the world are catching up a year worth of work, and it's just been very difficult, challenging to get things manufactured. On top of that, globally, there's also transportation issues. For example, with ocean freight, there has been a supply problem of having enough cargo containers from China, but also other continents. So printing has been very difficult, and on top of that, once you have your products manufactured, it's then very difficult and a long process of getting them transported around the world. This first bit of news is for the Wondrous Expeditions Kickstarter backers. So as you know, back in July of this year, we managed to finish the digital version of the book. It has been ready for quite a while. We sent out the PDF to the backers who've gotten the PDF pledges, and early August we submitted the files to the manufacturer to get the books printed. And all this time, basically, we could only wait until the books have been manufactured. So I have some very sad, unfortunate news, and so do watch this. So the books have been manufactured. In fact, I have one here, and they turned out very beautiful, but there is a big problem. In short, the entire print run contains an error with some of the fonts, and the error is persistent across the entire 6,000 books, and they all need to be reprinted. Obviously, there has been a debate whose fault it is, whether it's the problem in our own files, which we are quite sure wasn't the problem, but now there's this debate with the manufacturer about how we're going to resolve it. Ultimately, after losing quite a bit of sleep over it, I can confess it was a big blow. I definitely felt really bad, not so for myself, but more for you guys, because it means, you know, things take yet longer, which is very unfortunate. But obviously, we've been in talks with the manufacturer about how to solve it, and because we really believe that you know, in its current state, it's just not a quality that Loresmyth wants to deliver to you guys. So we're absolutely going to reprint all of the books because we want them to be perfect, which is not the case right now. Most likely, it will be completely at our own expense, which is very unfortunate. It's a lot of books. It's a big order, but yeah, you guys waited so long. You backed our Kickstarter, so you deserve quality, and that's why we are going to reprint all of the books. And the tricky thing is we just don't know how long it'll take, especially with the current COVID pandemic continuing to delay printing and transportation. Chances are now very slim that the books will arrive at our USA and UK warehouses this year. We expect that early next year, or potentially even not until the second quarter of next year, that we will be able to start shipping out your pledges. Yeah, again, the reason I've been losing sleep over this, and yeah, it's really a little bit emotional, is just because we care about you guys, the backers, and we feel so shocked that things are taking so long. You know, back in July, we had a big crunch period where we finished the book as fast as we could up to the highest standards. We felt very happy that we could finally submit it to the book manufacturer, and that's kind of when all the delays and the problems started happening, and this is yet another huge problem that we have to deal with. So that said, yeah, it's what can we say about it? We will keep you posted about what's going to happen. I probably will take some pictures and share it with you in the Kickstarter update, just to show that, you know, the books are real, they are getting made, they look fantastic. It's really absolutely gorgeous if it wasn't for that error that's throughout the entire book. But the book does look fantastic, so I will show some pictures, perhaps some videos to bridge the wait. We can only apologize. It's a really terrible, unfortunate situation. So again, we feel for you. We didn't want this to happen, but now it has happened, and we have to deal with it as best as we can. So then let's talk about the Remarkable Cults book. This development has gone very smoothly. It has kept on track since the beginning, and I can definitely say that our experience with making books, and especially the Remarkable books, which is an ongoing series, things become a little bit easier once you've done it a couple times. And the Remarkable Cults book definitely shows we had a very nice time. We really enjoyed it, and the book turned out quite a bit bigger than we initially planned. The Remarkable Shops book is 120 pages, I believe, and the Remarkable Cults book currently sits at 180 pages, so it's quite a bit bigger. And yeah, we managed to keep the development on track. So despite the challenges we had with COVID and Wondrous Expeditions book taking longer, we really worked hard to not have the Remarkable Cults development get delayed as well. We are currently in the final stages of layout and making some final tweaks, some final illustrations, but basically the complete book is ready and, like 99% complete. Within the next couple weeks, we will share a completed PDF with the backers to serve as a final proofread to catch any mistakes and grammar issues, and sometimes small errors slip our net. So it'll be great to catch some of those errors and tweaks. And then come December, we plan to submit the Remarkable Cults book to the book manufacturer to get printed. As mentioned at the start of the video, the Remarkable Cults book printing will suffer from the same effects as the Wondrous Expeditions book. It is unsure exactly when it can be manufactured and exactly when it can go on ocean transport to be shipped to our USA warehouse and UK warehouse from where we start shipping out pledges. Very slim chance that we can send any pledges this year. It will likely be early next year or towards the second quarter of 2022. Again, very unfortunate, but a lot of it is beyond our control. All creators are suffering from the effects of the pandemic, rising costs, much longer printing times, or not being able to print at all. And then once you have your goods, it's a challenge and also much more expensive to get them on a boat and shipped anywhere. So just as a reference, for example, last year, a transportation per boat of our books would typically cost like 2,000 to 3,000 euros. Now it's not uncommon for that same shipment to cost 8,000 to 10,000 euros. And that's, of course, on top of what it costs to manufacture the books. So challenging times for sure. As said, we are dealing with it as best as we can. Loresmyth in just a few short years has grown from a hobby into a successful business. And as you grow, typically you see that the size of the challenges grows with you. So we don't want to have this come across as a complaint or to get your sympathy, but it's just to share with you a little bit of what's going on in the world and what challenges we face, and why then some things take considerably longer than in the year before, when COVID wasn't really impacting us as much. Right, with all of that information out of the way, it's also time to look ahead a little bit. These are the current challenges we're facing, but there's also, eventually going to be a period after this. So what's the situation looking ahead? So without a doubt, this has been a very challenging year, not only for us, but I assume many creators. Financially, it's been very difficult with rising costs, and obviously we made the decision to not do our typical second Kickstarter. Typically we do 2 Kickstarters a year, and we talked to you guys, the backers, about not why we canceled our second Kickstarter this year, because we wanted to create a scenario where we would have shipped out the pledges for Wondrous Expeditions and Remarkable Cults before we would launch our next Kickstarter, because it's just not so nice when creators launch yet another campaign while you're still waiting for the previous pledges. So that's the reasoning why we decided, well, it's going to impact us a lot. Kickstarters make a lot of money, which is what enables us to sustain our business. So doing only 1 instead of 2 was already a big hit, on top of all of the other financial challenges currently. But we had a good reason to not do that second Kickstarter this year. We wanted to have the best chance of being able to ship your pledges and then do the new Kickstarter. Now this may change, because printing is taking so long, transportation is taking so long, that even the Kickstarter, the next one scheduled for March next year, now that even may get tight. There is a definite chance that even by that time, not all of the backers have received their physical packages by the post. So now we have to consider, we have always the best interest at heart with our backers. We are not a company that's just going to launch Kickstarter after Kickstarter and get all backed up, and that's just not our style. That's not how we've been doing things. But we're getting to a point where the printing and transportation is taking so long. It's taking sometimes 5 times as long as it did last year. We could wait 2 years perhaps launching the next Kickstarter, and there are still some people that haven't gotten their packages yet. It's getting to a point where none of the timelines make sense anymore, and as a business we're kind of forced to perhaps launch that new Kickstarter because you want to stay in business. So now we are looking at how to handle this, balancing off. We want to keep a good reputation towards our backers, which we've carefully built up. We don't want to upset people launching yet another Kickstarter, but we're also nearing a point where however long we wait, the timelines never can work out. So then we might as well go ahead with the next Kickstarter campaign. I'm interested to see what your opinion on this is. So if, comment your thoughts, let us know how you see this. Maybe you have some advice for us, or, it's just interesting to see. Our Discord server has been growing a lot, so that's also a great place to join and to discuss these kind of things with us. I'm very active on there, so you can ask me questions directly. And yeah, this is just some of the things that is very deep on our minds. It's again, we don't want to upset any of you guys and girls. We really have your best interest at heart. We are even in close touch with the Kickstarter team, to ensure we have the trust and the credibility, and so it's all in agreement with them in case we do decide to launch. But again, we also want to, we value your opinion on this. So another problem is because we are not able to fulfill your pledges, that also means we can't add the Wondrous Expeditions book and the Remarkable Cults book to our web shop store anytime soon. And Kickstarters are part of what generates our revenue, but obviously the products that are finished and go on public sale are a big part of our revenue making. And now we are starting to feel really everything coalescing, where we are missing out on a new Kickstarter campaign. Things are delayed so much that we cannot fulfill your pledges, but we're also unable to sell any new products this year. The Remarkable Shops book has done incredible. It's together with Inns and Shops, those are our best-selling titles, but they're from last year. And this year we won't be able to add any new books to our web shop. So that's again something that really impacts us financially and makes it difficult to keep going. Right, so, oh man, I've been kind of dreading this update because for once I wanted to be able to bring you some positive news, but as it turns out, this year has become ever more challenging, and yeah, I wasn't really looking forward to record this video update, but it needed to be done. We are always very transparent and open about what things go well and when things are not going so well. Again, a lot of these things are beyond our control. It's very unfortunate, but a lot of it has to do with the state of the world right now. And we can only try to navigate it as best we can. So again, if you want to share your thoughts, comment or join our Discord community, and I hope to see you there. Love to hear your thoughts and chat with you. We're going to be back with more updates as we have news to share. For now, again, I hope you are doing great despite the challenges. Wishing you a great day, have fun gaming, and we will talk again soon.